For those of you who don't know who the brother is I'm about to bring before you, you need to know first and foremost that our brother comes live and uncensored. All right? You need to know that. That's right. So don't let anything you hear shock you in any kind of way, because our brother is going to bring a message to you in such a specific and direct way that you can't help but understand. And that's what we as black people need sometimes. Sometimes we need things broken down to us in a manner and fashion that is real plain, it's real simple. Well, Brother Steve's going to do that for us. You also need to know that Brother Steve names the name. He does what? Name the name. Come on, Baltimore. Don't be afraid to name the name. He does what? Name the name. That's right. Many of us go around talking about we're against white supremacy, but we don't know the actual people, the actual institutions or organizations that are spinning white supremacy all around our lives every day. So we have to begin to pin the tail on the honky so we can know specifically who some of these individuals are. Come on, Father. We can't fight anybody if we don't know who it is. We need to be fighting it in opposition against. Come on, Father. Brother Steve is a master at that. Yes, he is. It's an honor for me to introduce Brother Steve here, but this happened to be the first building some years back where I had my introduction to Brother Steve COKELY. I was sitting somewhere right over in here, and my lip was hanging on the floor the whole time I listened to my brother. And I wanted to say again that we need to support our brother. Our brother has recently faced some opposition, some direct physical opposition. And you need to know, as black people, other black people that have loved and cared for you have been taken away from us because of physical opposition. That's right. What we see right now, in the very least, is an attempt to turn our brother back. But any of you all who know this brother know damn well that's right. The only way Brother Steve is turning is forward, onward, upward. So preach your brother right now. And as you preach your brother, I want you to understand, not only did he come all the way from Washington, but Brother Steve's been traveling. He's been traveling at a rapid pace across the country because he understands that the time in which we live right now is leaving us very little gap to begin to tie the thing together. Now, we can do one of three things when we leave after hearing Brother Steve this evening. Number one, we can leave out of here and say, man, brother really threw down, man. That brother can rap. That brother can rap. And we can go tell other people that that brother can rap. That's one thing we can do. Another thing we can do is we can leave out of here just questioning everything we hear just because we got the white man dancing around in our mind so much, but that's all right. We've all had to come through that process. How many of y'all know you got the white man dancing around in your mind? Wait a minute, don't try to pull this I'm conscious tip on me. You see, don't come in here and try to pull that on us because we all have it to some degree, and it's an everyday fight to get rid of it. That's right. Every day. That's right. So let us arm ourselves and do the third thing that we can. We can act and we can mobilize on the information we receive from Brother Steve today. I want you to know that every time we come to Baltimore, for some reason or another, the mayor knows we're here. That's right. Every time we come to Baltimore, the Greater Baltimore Committee knows we're here. How do I know this? Because sometimes Brother Lyles gets strange phone calls. Well, yes, I'm so-and-so, and I like to have some more information on your event. What is it you have against us and what we're doing? We see phone calls like that. But the bottom line is, we've got to get the information so that we can become aware of what's happening around us. And nobody does a better job than that than our brother. All right. So at this time right now, I want you to give awoken and awakened Baltimore welcome for your brother and ours, Brother Steve COKELY. Come on, let's get I told Lyle y'all had stuff in your pockets. That's why you didn't want to jump up and stuff to get to falling out or something.
How you doing, Bobby? You need a chair? We need a chair for brother and sister here. I see it's a couple down in here. Because I know as people come in, it's going to get even a little tighter. Some people expected us to start late, found out they missed half the program. Because we were starting on time. And I know I can vouch for the progression and evolution of Brother Lyle. I'm very, very proud of Brother Lyle. And I think the transformation in Brother Lyle's life gives evidence of what the Nation of Islam can do for brothers who, in fact, could use the structure and the organization as a way to nurture and to grow strong. And I know that this brother was a strong addition to the nation here in Baltimore, and you're lucky to have the brother. I wish I had had the money to have paid the brother and had him be with me. We used to ride together. We went down to Newark, we went down to Hampton University, and they stood at the door and stopped us from coming in. The study group that invited us down there stood at the door, who was the African Study Group, and told us that the president, Boule, Uncle Bill Harvey, Pensacola Republican, Republican, well, I ain't gotta signify, because this speaks for itself when I say what he did, but they stood there at the door and told us we couldn't come in. And I look back at Brother Lyle and the other 11 people that were with me and said they're going to have to arrest us today. We going forth. And we went into the little dormitory where we were supposed to speak. And the resident assistant came down and said, no, I'm not losing my job. You got to shoo out of here. Then it came time to introduce me. And the study group that brought me there felt that even though they was the African Study Group and had invited me, I mean, I think this was for about $100 even. We drove 5.5 hours for $100, which meant they knew that you couldn't turn us off with the little funky $100. We was building the revolution, and the $100 was just a false reason for showing up. Gas money and food cost more than $100. So that's what really scares people when you got a revolution that ain't got no bank that keeps on coming. Ain't never took a step back. And so that gets real worrisome in a material world. So when we went there, the African Study Group said they couldn't have it, and we said, give up the word African and go on and get with the president and be a Negro organization like the rest of the other ones. And the brothers backed up. When he came to introduce me, Brother Tim Wells had to stand up and introduce me and said, I'm ashamed I had to come all the way down here with this brother and introduce him because you wasn't fit to stand with the one you called. Then we said we go back down there. It got too hot to let us even in the city of Hampton. So they had to move us up to Newport News. Got to Newport News in a nice little theater, and the lights went out. We had to lecture by candlelight. Brother Lyle and what was that? What was that brother's name? Used to wear the black all the time, Lyle. Amin Ra. Had to go about flashlights and candles to light the theater up. And then who was in the audience was the LaRoches, and I had to pulverize them little white women for coming in there telling me how I could best spend my time in politics, leave a hunky alone. So we had programs here in Baltimore where the police captain, watch commander, stood in the doorway, said if anybody had a lucky of a COKELY, they'll be arrested tonight. How when we went on the campus of Morgan State, half of them got arrested. When we went there on the day, they took and donated the dormitory for Boule Block. Yeah, they did. Tell it. Right. How many times? How about the day we surrounded that little wimp punk, Kurt Smoke, surrounded his ass at the Outram. Brother Lyle and I, and Brother Hightower, and Brother Court had him in a circle. What do you mean you a rose scholar? Just had him all in a circle, and he looked around and his security had been cut off. Woo! And the white boy was his president noticed that we had him in a circle. We was walking him. What's up with the rose thing? And he was well, he was a good man. No, he was a colonist. Well, at least I got a scholarship. Now that ain't working. Well, what are you trying to say? Well, it's good. I'm telling you it's good. And we knew he was awful. And since that time, he's been promoted to the Trilateral Commission for what he's accomplished in Baltimore. Social austerity, cutbacks without social disruption. Okay? What rewards a black man or a white man if you can fuck the people without social disruption? Okay? My language. I beg my forgiveness for cussing. But if I lie, I cut my throat. I'm proud to be here this evening. It's another night for us. Where I used to work all over the Southwest, north sides of Chicago. Now we work the north, south, west side of the so-called United States. Last week in Chicago, right about this time, I was giving a lecture at Fernwood United Methodist Church. Reverend Al Sampson is the pastor there. You might have seen him the day the minister came out about the FBI, and he had stood up all his sisters and his sons the day they had the big coming together at the Mount Marianne to talk about the FBI's fake assassination attempt through Kabila Jabaz and the hunky boy Fitzpatrick. 1 week ago that night, we was in Brother Mann's church. But somewhere in there, somebody's clock was ticking that as a million men begin to amalgamate in D.C., and as the evolution of a circle continues, as the pressure on black people escalates, it's certain people of certain types that need to be killed and got rid of right now so that the flock could be left to the devil. You see, sometimes we defend you so well. We out beating on the hunky, and we tell the hunky, all of you all know everything we're sharing with you tonight. Sometimes when we know, you don't know. But we have what we have, and we have what the hunky think we have. Oh, I ain't got no chalkboard, but you imagine this with me. The lecture, we looked up the clock, we left the lecture at about 12:15 in the morning.
Chalkboard right there, brother.
Show you right, but everybody can't see it, Baba. I don't know if everybody can see it. Ain't got no chalk in it. Oh, thank you, sister. Oh, thank you. But I need some chalk. Now, I draw it with this. This is church. Anyway. We went home. We got home about 1:45 in the morning. 1:45 in the morning. We had a 7:40 a.m. flight. It wasn't but between the time we were supposed to leave, 5:45, and when we got home, it wasn't but 4 hours and 45 minutes. Now, 5 a.m. on a Sunday morning is about the least traffic, least attended time to the outside of any day of the week.
Right.
Mondays is bustling. Saturdays is still bustling. Right. Sundays, about as low as it can get. Right. We had a 7:40 flight. We had to get to Midway Airport. And so I had all my babies. I brought my babies in from Chicago. Had Sister Tiombe, my aunt, little Steve, and Nakia. So we knew with 8 pieces of luggage and 5 people, we were either going to have to get 2 cabs or we were going to have a friend. So at the end of the lecture, Brother Man said, I got a limo. Next time you come to town, let me pick you up. I said, Baba, I got a 4-hour turnaround. I need somebody I can depend upon to get me and my family to the airport because it's just at that time of the morning, that's the only flight we can get out. We got to be home Sunday. So, hey, I need your help. And so he says, brother, you can count on me. In fact, this is Brother Harold. He's a good friend of Brother Lou Myers, who lives around these parts now, was the backup man to Ben Davis. A little bit different than Ben Davis. Anyway, 5 a.m., the limo man shows up. He's 45 minutes early. He calls upstairs. He says, Brother Steve, I'm here. He said, I'm down front. I said, we don't take off till 5:45. You got to stand at ease. How you doing, sister? But you got to stand at ease, and we'll start bringing the luggage down in a little while. Never too definite, never run right out the door, never jump too fast, never be there right when they expect you. Be consistently inconsistent when it comes to your timing. No one actually ever knows when you're really making the move. It's something you do on how you feel at that moment. Always keeping in your mind who you tell what to, how many options there are, and where is the window of opportunity. So, at about 5:20, the limo driver reaches in his car to grab the phone to call his cousin, to tell him that he's made contact with me, he's down front, I'll be bringing the luggage down soon, and my family will be down, we'll be off. But his car phone didn't work, the battery was low. He was calling to the city right outside of Chicago, Calumet City. In fact, that's where Brother Waleed Muhammad, the editor of the Final Call, died at a health club in Calumet City. It's a dangerous spot. Anyway, when he drives to the gas station, which is at the corner, my mom's building takes the whole block. He went to the gas station at the corner, 30, 40 yards up. Goes to the gas station. He's in the gas station at the phone, near the pump. He notices this car drive in to the gas station and stayed, about 20 feet behind him. He had noticed that car when he first drove up at 5. It was a 1979 Caprice, had 4 young men in it, baseball caps, at 5 a.m. in the morning with no license plates on it. Probably just, everyday occurrence that 4 black men can feel they can sit in a car at 5 in the morning out on a quasi-busy street without feeling uncomfortable about the police stopping them for being in an unmarked car. 4 black men in the middle of the day in Baltimore, in suits, with license plates, cannot guarantee that they won't be stopped, let alone 4 in an unmarked car without license plates. Well, as brother pulled out the gas station, he noticed the car went out at the gas station. And he drove around the block, came back in front of my mom's place, and noticed the car went around the block and stayed about still 10 cars back. Now, it's 5 o'clock, it's dark. In fact, it's interesting, 5 o'clock is my false time. I always pad my leave time. Always pad it. Brother Charles or Brother Lyle, anybody ever had to pick me up? No, I'm slow running out that door. I just don't run right out. Just a good habit of mine. No, it ain't about TV time. And so, about 5:15, 5:20, it's not light outside, but it starts to look just like this. It's overcast morning. It's not, it's going to rain in Chicago that day, so the sun don't come up, but it comes up great, just like this. And they must have got a little uncomfortable waiting. They had been out there since 5. In fact, the limo driver said that they were there when he got there. And he noticed them. So they sat there from at least 4:45 or earlier. Limo driver got there at 5, just before 5, and rang the bell at 5. Went through the buzzer system and so. It's an armed security guard right in the first floor. In fact, that building used to have Nation of Islam security in it. Last time I was there in February, I come back this time, they done replaced it with another security group. Now this guy here sitting at that chair with the gun, he didn't see nothing. I mean, he saw it. He went and got the broom to help clean up the glass, but he wasn't a great assistant. Anyway, 5:25 or so, I'm about to bring luggage down. I look outside and I see the police are at the limousine, and I turn there and I say, oh man, they're out there messing with the limousine driver. Zoom downstairs to bring the first pieces of luggage, and what do I see? But the window's been shot out of the limo. The little brothers, I guess, got impatient. Probably figured that the limo driver may have got on the phone and either told me to stay upstairs or call for someone else to come down front. They must have got a little tired of waiting, plus the lighter it got, the easier it was to see them. Got a little better description of everything as a result of it getting lighter. Shot right through the front, that front glass window, just missed the limo driver there. Said he kept his head on that little part of the bar, so that as he was a little sleepy, and he got drugged out of bed for the assignment, this is the window where it comes straight in. He had just leaned his head back to the bar because he felt uncomfortable in being back there, and he saw him in his rearview mirror. Because they double parked just like he had been double parked. Because there ain't no parking spaces at that time. They drove on up the car and got on through the window and drove on off. Then here come my mama, my sister, my baby, and me. Then the question would have been, what if they could have held on a little longer and started shooting? Maybe my mama couldn't have been down as fast as everybody else, or the response mechanism wouldn't have been in place fast enough to prevent one of the children from running in the wrong direction. Well, that's the way it goes. They had their shot, now we got ours. Okay. So, that brings us to another point. Brother Noel, he been through hell and back. I've been through hell and I've been in planes and then caught fire, then landed safely. I've been locked up in the crazy house. You all know the tape back there, how I got started. About how the white man locked my butt up in a mental institution. I've been plugged 2 of my buddies and told me I must be crazy to go under the threat of death. Because you see, death is what punked a lot of you. The thought that somehow a mere man got control of your soul.
That's right, brother.
Such that any time the enemy chooses to, you're vulnerable to him, but that's only if you live like the enemy.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
Oh, that's the truth.
That's the truth.
I always tell people, don't give the white man all that omni power. You so scared of white man, you think he can do anything he wants. He only got control over those who live under his law. Only who act the way he acts.
That's right.
And that's all he got. Now, I know people who always telling me, oh, but hopefully white man gonna get you. Oh, but then they go out and get hit by a car. Wasn't waking up nobody. Wasn't doing shit. Wasting a life. So what's the lesson in there? What's holding you back out there?
Go ahead, brother.
Is it for fear of money?
Good question.
Baba, I told him, and everybody called me from all over the nation. Baba, what happened? I said, look, y'all, July 10th is rent day. I'll be more worried about paying rent than having somebody physically trying to come up and snatch on my soul.
That's right.
Because I know I'm more worried about taking care of them Africans in the back room than I am about some mere human's manifestation on something that don't belong to them.
That's right.
And about that, I ain't worried in the least. The deeper the crisis, the stronger the brother.
That's right.
Hey, just because of that, oh, we've got access to many more things. We've got a lot more in our behalf just as a result of them missing.
That's right.
Plus, you know, everybody do shit like you go to campus. I'm at Rutgers and they say, man, it's really popular. But brother, why hasn't the white man killed you? I mean, why isn't, I say, I done lived through economic sanctions. I done been through isolation. In reality, when you look at it, sometimes he starts running down his options. Well, here's a man been economically isolated for 7 years. Been through a couple of families, because everybody can't make it through tight times.
That's right.
Been through personal humiliation. I've been violated by those I supported.
That's right.
I've been left in the cold by those who stood for me one day and saw economic opportunity for leaving me the next.
That's right.
I've been a part of many deals. I've got many people, many informants paid trying to keep up with me. And we ain't got no organization. But in every city, we got influence.
That's right.
What is influence? The ability to affect a person's behavior. Why is it not organizational? Because you can't infiltrate this.
That's right.
This is a guerrilla operation. It's a 1990s response to world white supremacy and global unity.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Therefore, as we move towards many great events in our community, we don't lose sight of what the brother offers you that's unique. When I really thought about it, I did that tape back there last Saturday, the Saturday before last, Can I Cut a Hole in Your Fence at Bertie Baptist. Anybody that was at that lecture was a little shocked at Brother Cokley, because I went deep up in some butthole on that lecture. Brother Cokley can smell the hunky when he get close. And anytime he get close, I start swinging at everybody in the circle. Baba, don't fall asleep, because you ain't been here long enough to get sleepy, so I'll be looking at how that works. And this ain't no sleepy type of moment. If you sleep through this, you can leave for the rest of the program, because it ain't going to get no more interesting than this.
Check.
And I only say that is because what you do is you put one in the meeting, it looks like they're bare falling around, and they fall and they look to see who's looking, and it's like yawning. Maybe you'll do it too if they impress that upon you a couple of times. So I'll be up on it. You're gonna come up on me, I'm gonna work your ass. You're gonna get paid, and I'm not saying it's you, Baba. You're gonna get paid, I'm gonna make you work hard to get your money.
That's right.
Then I also know you can double cross them too. So we be open for that. So I went back and I thought about when I did the Can I Cut a Hole in Your Fence, some of the things I done discussed with our community. One of the things I'm going to do before we leave it tonight is ask you if you're willing to sign up for something called Grassroots 2000. I want you to name for me the #1 black futurologist in this country. Name me their name. Now come on, be serious.
Come on.
Grassroots 2000. Let me hear you now. What's the #1 black futurist in this country? Okay, besides Brother Steve. And what do they do?
After he goes inside,
And what do we do, sister?
they do a whole bunch of work. They're alive, they've got people off a death row. They've got the sisters out of jail. Do a lot of work around the prisons and things.
All right, I appreciate you. Do you know what a futurologist is? Huh?
I guess.
Well, it's doing it in a way that you look out as a preferred world. black people are suffering today because they have no preferred perspective. We have never looked in forward and made a decision about what we want today. What we do today is a result of our preferred world. What Brother Lyle is saying, he said, I looked around what was going on in Baltimore doing their research and pulled these plans down and saw where Baltimore is going, and that puts a certain fuel in the brother's soul to want to tell you how bad that looks. Because if you know enough about the hunky's preferred world,
That's right.
your world will change today.
That's right.
And if we can motivate you enough with what we have to offer,
Go ahead, brother.
then take a look at what the hunky got in store for you. I'll just step back off of it. That's right. And you'll get on up and say, Brother Coakley, I'm not going there. I said, thank you. Come right on over here. Because Grassroots 2000 is going to take the local community and make them go to the United Way. Go to the Baltimore Civic Organization. Say, what's that Baltimore?
Greater Baltimore.
Greater, and find out what plans they got on the future. Go to the United Way and pull them down. Pull down John Hopkins' future look. Pull the city of Baltimore's Department of Planning future material down. And when you look through this, after a while, you will be better able to get into a meeting. You got to bring an article on the future or a book from the future to get in. Ain't about no money. So to get in, you're going to have to go look for something. Okay. And to bring it in, you're going to have to tell it to everybody else. And after a while of dibbling and dabbling on the future, you will be prepared to start writing a neighborhood plan. And you will do it effectively because you will understand the deficit and the void that you're going to fill. But I got to do it the backwards way. Just to do it for your own self ain't enough. I know you now. I know to tell you the hunky's coming ain't enough. To say trilateral commission. To say the fool-aids in town ain't going to do nothing but make me know got punk in your soul.
Tell the truth, brother.
So now I got to do it in reverse. I got to let you sit with the white man's plan and let the white man do what the white man can do for any sleeping African.
That's right.
He can raise the dead. He can get Dracula out the coffin. He can do it.
That's right.
Whereas Brother Coakley, Brother Lyle, and all the other attempts we didn't try can't. So we're going to offer that, and already we signed them up in Chicago. And see, the hunky listen carefully. Brother Coakley ain't never asked nobody to follow him nowhere. Last crew I even dealt with was a Brother Lyle in the crew, and I watched carefully how certain people told them they needed to go for themselves. And cutting away from Brother Coakley brought about another set of circumstances that made the whole thing dissipate. I watched and studied that very carefully, Brother Lyle. So I knew what amalgamating means, so when the hunky know, I start calling in all them chips I got. Got chips all over this country. When I start calling them chips in and say, we gonna amalgamate, I know the hunky gonna go get some guns. Because at this point, he knows that what I got deep inside of the people that I've impressed is the ability to go from A to Z on the hunky.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead.
And I know the people know, will there be any niggas?
In the 50 years now.
What's this? All right. 100 virgins of whip. 1,000 horse. 1,000 horse. See? They know it's deep in the people.
Take your time, bro.
All that with my notebook in the back. I need, since I got a black notebook down in my bag, I just want to walk through a couple of these sayings. Ain't no African in this country ever sat down and tried to teach you about an early warning officer.
Go ahead, bro.
Early warning, how many of y'all remember that? And y'all remember the tape about early warning officer? What am I telling you? There's somebody out there that plans and plots against the black community. Thank you. And that this early warning officer don't come to no meetings. He only receives reports from meetings.
Check.
But he's the one that decides what is done unto us based upon the feelers that come back. When the feelers come back, say temperament is up, courage is strong, commitments are deeper, financial stability more capable, width greater, probability, better stop them now. What probability scale made them have to move out and ostracize Brother Collard to the point that a year ago somebody tried to kill him? Brother Coakley feels very proud of the fact that Brother Khalid and the Nation of Islam have gotten themselves back together. But I know when the shooting came down, it wasn't a whole lot of people went and took whatever little money they had and flew out there to L.A. to go and get the information and put it together in a way that made all parties back off.
Check.
Assassination is not a strategy of a disagreement between blacks.
Come on, brother.
That's the law.
Come on,
so the third party shows up and polices all that intra activity, which was being egged on and pushed by the ADL and the National Security Council. 1 year, 2 months, Beth ain't been to trial. OJ almost been in trial a year. What's the difference? Beth was May 30th. OJ was June 12th. OJ been in trial for 6-7 months. Beth ain't even come up for trial. Because the hunkies out there know we know more about that than they do. And every move they make is a false move. Because as soon as they say it, we going to bust them. That's right. I got Beth's driver's license. I got the calling card from the white woman Stekovich that was in his wallet. So what do? They sitting there, baby, he'll be dead next week. And we can go on about this on our own.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So the information force has policed the set. We have stopped certain levels of nonsense.
That's right. That's right.
You were greatly underestimated. But Brother Cokley has gone on the point on certain things where no people dared to move on. In the whole 90 years of our community, ain't nobody ever said about no boule. Ain't nobody ever got eggy on no 3,500 black men. Ain't nobody ever egged them and exposed them and did it across the whole country without bank. NAACP, $4 million in debt. I ain't never had 4,000 at one time to fight the hunkies. Ain't never took a step back. I'm going to show you 7 years ago in May when I was fired. And show you what all they went through to try to throw out one man. This is before you even knew me. And what would have happened if I had kept my throttles on that government back behind them scenes? I just one person that knew how to exercise power. Many people are afraid to make a mistake. You will make thousands of them. How do you recoup? How do you handle? How can you deal with having to start all over again? Becomes the real measurement of your manhood and your sisterhood.
That's right.
Tell me if you remember any of these. Which would you rather have? A lion vegetarian or
Vegetarian lion,
a truth-telling pork eater? There's no law to protect a black man. There's no law to protect a black man. Baltimore, you're a little weak in your lesson. There's no law to protect a black man from a white man with a mission.
That's right.
That's right.
Jack?
That's right.
What's the difference between a protest
And a hotel.
Oh, yeah, you got that one. A hotel. Now, what's the cry wolf syndrome? Remember I told you about that early warning officer? I came here and told you that the United Way. Now, what have we learned since I came here and told you that the United Way was spying in Chicago using the NAACP, the Urban League, the ACLU? We caught the ADL community spying 10 years before the San Francisco police caught them. They come out in 92, we come out in 81. As we picked them up in Chicago with the early warning system working through the United Way. So what do? They catch the head of the United Way with women and fake housing and all kind of pornography. Did y'all hear what happened to him? Now, what did they do with him? What did he get?
A couple years.
He got some jail time. But the point of it was, though, that his crimes was deep enough that while he was sleeping with the young women, they was doing what they needed to do with the United Way, which was counterinsurgency. Get that tape back there, counterinsurgency, then and now. Oh, let's see here. I don't know, Baltimore, you scare me. You ain't gonna remember none of these. I'm gonna tell them to you. The last chapter of the Bible's real name is what?
Revolution.
That's right, because revelation brings revolution. He's in the 666. Do things in
Cold weather.
bad weather. Don't you get to crying about how hot it is. The hottest, the sun, the worst for the hunky. Cheer for 120. Change your attitude about the bad weather. So when you hear y'all going to Africa and shit, what you think is air conditioning in Africa? What you think going on in Africa? Huh? Well, that's true. But there's some parts of Africa Africans control. What you think is hot in Africa or what? You damn right. So don't be no African and wear no African clothes. Tell me how hot it is. Say, cause cancer for the hunky. Hunky. Say, get your neighborhood hunky out in the sun. Be smart. Go to your job. Perpetrate white on white disunity. White on white aggression is a high level of our black liberation program. So you know how they do you. How your boy OJ. Hey, what's up with your boy Big Babe messing with them little white kids? Hey, what's up with your boy Clinton? Your Newt the Nazi. Yeah, Newt the Nazi. Newt's gonna merge Baltimore and DC into one city called Gendrich.
Go ahead, brother.
Oh, don't tell me he ain't.
Yes, he is.
You ain't seen the plan for the model city? First they hooked all together, he gonna supervise it. What they do, Marion wins the election? What they get? Take away the housing agency. Take away the welfare agency. Here come financial control board. Yeah, so what, did he win? Did they win or what? Huh? Crisis creation and to take over the American cities. What did they do to Barry? First they tell him he's running in the campaign. He's running in the campaign, and the financial deficit is $100 million. Him and Sharon Pratt Kelly. So after he wins, they recook the books. The deficit is $250 million. He goes up to New York. They see the two bond rating companies. What's their name?
Standard & Poor's.
Standard & Poor's and Moody's. They were one black man in this country. Fucking with Standard & Poor's and Moody's. Half our people never know who they were, but ain't none of the leadership ever targeted elements of whites that really control things.
Okay.
We sort of get caught in the Ku Klux Klan, Ronald Reagan, George Bush, Clinton analysis.
Right. Cover story, right?
So you're right. So we want the one that makes the one. $250 million. He goes to Standard & Poor's and Moody's and gets a check from J.P. Morgan for $250 million. They give one of them big old bozo checks. You know them big old cardboard things that he holds up, he's using and shit. Then he goes to the all-white ward in Ward 3. Then he fucked up real bad. He goes to the all-white ward and repudiates Khalid Muhammad, repudiates Minister Farrakhan, repudiates Leonard Jeffries, and then says, I got some guy I can't take, Malik Zulu Shabazz, who keeps helping me all the time. I'm trying to get rid of the white people to show y'all I'll be a good nigga.
Go ahead, brother.
So when they have a Black Panther event, he go to hug Brother Khalid like a good brother that keeps score. He pushes Barry off of him. Okay. Don't come up here hugging me, black man, after you repudiated me to the hunkies, because you thought the hunkies was just glad you was there. You didn't know they had a plan for when you win to strip your butt down. The Financial Control Board hires, fires, controls the money, controls the budget. What do a mayor do if he don't run the money? But keep control of the Negro. That's his job, to keep control of the Negro. Then they slapped his wife in a little beef. You saw the FBI, 45 people investigating. Where's the investigation now? Just sitting over on the shelf, waiting until they make sure you real asleep. And as soon as they get through getting him to cut the black people, cause disunity, he closed down African Liberation Day in D.C. How he gonna win? He gonna close down the vendors, and the vendors need to eat, and the vendors are his supporters. What white man make you run a government you can't support your supporters? Then you know the difference between the election coalition and the governing coalition. You need the niggas to win, but you dump them after you win.
Go ahead, brother.
Then go get your white people. They're the governing coalition. Black people are your election coalition. You make sure they don't get nothing. As soon as Mandela wins, he says, now black people don't expect nothing from me. I gotta cut the budget. Don't be doing none of them illegal strikes no more, because now that I'm a black man, I won't sanction none of that. Winnie, sit your ass down. I know you brought the revolution to the point that I got out of jail, but to show the white man I'm a good nigga, I got to cut you loose. Even though you my wife, I get more points for it. Oh, they did it, didn't they?
Yes,
Whites control 97% of the wealth in D.C. and South Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Don't they?
Oh, yeah.
White people live good in Baltimore. You don't hear no stories about no blacks touching no whites. You don't hear, how was the last time there was a story about black people beating up a hunky in Baltimore?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think about it. How do y'all know that so well? How do y'all know not to fuck with the hunky real well? How do you know that?
Kurt told him not to.
No, you see, it's psychological. Can I cut a hole in your fence?
That's right.
Can I cut a hole in your fence? Let me hear you say, fuck Rockefeller.
Fuck Rockefeller.
Let me hear you say, fuck Rockefeller.
Fuck Rockefeller.
All right, if I was Rockefeller, I wouldn't feel too worried.
Go ahead,
But we'll try it later on. I think we'll get it.
Go ahead, brother.
See, the word got to go back.
That's right.
That you would do anything to get it straight.
I will. I will.
God gave you that power. That's what you incurred for being a victim. Look at the difference in the colors and our complexions in this room.
That's right.
Didn't nobody choose to have no white man rape their grandmama?
Go ahead, brother. Teach.
They gonna redo slavery down there in Virginia and shit.
Go ahead, brother.
Oh no, it's bad. They got ball and chain in Alabama. It's bad.
Go ahead, brother.
Oh yeah. Then come the Oklahoma bombing and come that false description. Middle Eastern Nation of Islam type. What do you think that was about?
Go ahead, brother.
And then they had 8, 9 eyewitnesses that saw the Middle Eastern / Nation of Islam type.
Yes.
Where they at now? CNN?
Yeah.
Then look on the list of the trial out there's the head of CNN, then there's the head of the Ryder Truck Company right underneath. Is Ryder Truck the preferred truck for bombers? Do you use it in New York and then expect everybody to stigmatize it in Oklahoma? That's right. Did McVeigh really do it? Is that the real McVeigh? What about that microchip in his ass?
That's right.
So as soon as Barry come back with 250 million, all of a sudden the same financial crisis goes up to 722 million. And then they said, now niggas go get that. And he had nowhere to get it from. Because at that point he knew the game was not fix the hole, because the hole was widened every time he got a chance to fix it.
Go ahead.
That meant that he was in a dilemma, that the whites wanted the city, and his election was the excuse.
Good teaching.
I knew it was something funky about that. They don't let a man come back from snorting cocaine on TV, taking some booty, and put him on and bring him back for mayor, and then strip him to the bone. Then he gonna bust up African Liberation Day and repudiate the black people. So when you come for that million-man march, you be ready. Because the attack can come from without or within.
That's right.
I don't mean within the margins, but from the government. How's the city government going to treat us while we're there?
Go ahead.
And one thing I learned about what you didn't do when the Boule convention comes, if 1 million men would try to come all the way from California, I'd be damned if 300,000 of them shouldn't come out of Baltimore.
That's right, man. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Only thing you see on TV about Baltimore is rock.
Yeah. Good teaching, brother.
He a garbage man.
Good teaching.
Was. So it's on BET still.
Yeah, okay.
Rehab TV. So cry wolf for the early warning officer is that the early warning officer sits up there every day waiting for the chance to sound the alarm to lead the attack on black people. Welcome, Richmond, Virginia.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
So what does the early warning officer do? So we tell the early warning officer tomorrow we're going to go jam up Kurt's smoke office. So somebody picks it up tonight, turns it in, late night, report goes in, gonna attack Kurt's smoke office for faking on the red, black, and green. Because we don't want to lose the act. We don't want to lose the act. We don't want to lose the red, black, and green like they took the X from us. When Spike Lee made Malcolm X up another Negro kissing the toes of a white woman. How many of you all had the stomach to see the movie twice? I couldn't even see it twice, it was so bad. Malcolm X stuff don't sell. If you're a vendor, you know Malcolm X stuff don't sell no more.
That's right.
Used to be the hottest thing was X. I go to all these campuses, 300-400 students in a room, no X's on the head or on the body. Because the hunky done killed that. Now X is a lost generation of white kids. But they had to kill it before they gave it to him. Now here comes Kurt's smoke with the red, black, and green. Talking about, it don't mean liberation. Yes, white is for our unity, and red is for our prosperity, and black is for our future. Bullshit. Yeah, but how many of y'all took it back from him? He should have never been allowed to take it. He exemplifies most of what Marcus Garvey hated.
That's right.
Marcus Garvey fought against Cecil Rhodes. Marcus Garvey fought against Rothschild and Rockefeller and Astor.
Go ahead, bro.
And then he come with a red, black, and green poster. Nigga quit.
That's right. Nigga quit.
So the early warning officer sounds the alarm we going, and on Monday morning they send 10, 15 extra people. They can work overtime to be out front of his office. Some in the front disguised as homeless, other up in the hallway sweeping brooms like they sweeping. They all police. They all just have waiting for this mob coming down to kick Smoke's ass for being a traitor. But we don't show. So on Tuesday, the chief of counterintelligence turns to the early warning officer and says, that was a good read you made, but they didn't come down. We wasted 13 salaries on this false alarm. Be careful. So we tell them we're going down to the district, we're going down to the Columbus Research Center and see Unabomber. They ain't never heard of Unabomber here. Do they have newspapers here, Baba? They do? Y'all heard of Unabomber? Well, act like you did. Give a hand for some white-on-white bombers. Now, I want every white man to be scared of the white man.
That's right.
They had 70 evacuations of buildings in D.C. since the Oklahoma bombing. You know why? Because the white man knows. One thing about the white man, he knows. I said they win because they violent. The white man wins because he's violent.
That's right.
So with a white man on his hook, the rich white man is fighting the poor white man. So when the call comes, he say, oh, didn't sound like no brother. We better evacuate the FBI. We better evacuate Union Station. We better evacuate the Treasury Department. We better evacuate the Montgomery County Courthouse. They had 70 evacuations of buildings in D.C. since the Oklahoma bombing because the white man know he got the white man on the line. And one thing he know about him is he's violent. He looked in the mirror and saw the enemy, and the enemy was his damn self. All the time he been waiting on us. Meantime, he was squeezing the tits of his own community, closing down his farmers, moving his factories, blue-collar workers to Asia, Singapore, and Hong Kong, and China. So the white boy first come up and snatch your affirmative action. Whiny white guy. White paranoia. Give me that affirmative action. We've lost. Ain't no affirmative action job, monkey. When you get it, you gonna find out ain't nothing in it. And you ain't heard two peeps out of nobody since it's been gone. They ain't even got no research to back. It's supposed to be based on proving a deficit. Ain't nobody got no proof of that. The hunky is a cutthroat killer colonialist. So without no information, they take it back. Which meant that information was the key. Maybe I'm just paranoid. We ain't got nothing to worry about the hunky. Hunky's our friend. Smoke of hunters. Yeah, Congo. Y'all see that Congo movie? Yeah, Congo. Y'all seen the Congo. Y'all know I used to do this one here. I used to do a piece here. I used to tell y'all about it when I did that Grecian Sphinx. I talked about that thing on Oedipus. About the murdering of the father and marrying the mother. And that the hunky would kill the black man, his father, and marry the black woman, his mama, and make babies to help himself to survive the upcoming global warming. But now I'm not so sure, sister. I used to think you'd be around, but since Congo, I'm not so sure now. Because now, I remember Newsweek did this one. It's called From Monkey to Hunky. Talking about the genetic similarities between the monkey and the white man. And when you read the book on Congo, you hear right here in the opening, the white man says in a little saying before the movie, the large male gorilla held of absolute certainty in his majestic appearance. I felt a desire to communicate with him. Never before had I had this feeling on meeting an animal. As I watched each other, across the valley, as we watch each other, I wondered if the gorilla recognized the kinship that bound us. The white man today is still trying to establish where did he come from.
Yes,
Every lecture I ask, who's ever white there? Anybody here white?
You don't know.
No, I can't tell. I would ask you, where did you come from? Because white people can't tell you where they came from.
Right. Come on, brother.
Still today, they drop an article.
Come on.
First known white man seen.
Come on.
Linked to Africa about 1 million years late.
You don't know.
Mystery still.
Come on.
Where is the white man from? You know when they had Rutgers and the white man told the students they were genetically inferior?
Oh, yeah.
So they getting ready to consolidate them, Ivy League schools, so the white presidents are jockeying for position. So the more shit you say about how bad you hate black people, the higher your chances you can keep a college in the consolidation. Everybody tell me about how you're going to get fired. I said, no, that white man looking for promotion. So you get some courage and come out here and say, black people ain't no good, you're going to do great in the white world. So the Rutgers students said, well, what are we going to do? Yeah, let's go down there and get that COKELY and bring him up here. So I gave a lecture, and I know it's only one left, Brother Ball, one of them. The people who came out of the earth versus the people who came to the earth. Think about that a minute. Because we know from the lesson that the word earth, that the word, the German word, by which the word hell comes from, excuse me, Bob, I got it right over your head, that the German word Halle,
That's right.
and the German word Hole,
Come on, brother.
H-O-E-H-L-E, one means cave, and the other means hell, and it says in the dictionary of symbols, the fact that they're similar is not an accident. The one who came out of the earth, the caveman. Cave means concealment, trapped, locked in. Versus the one who came to the earth. What happened when the movie Stargate came? They found out that the pyramid wasn't a death chamber, it wasn't no funeral parlor.
That's right.
It was a transfer agent to a higher life. And what did they tell a hunky in the movie? That when you get to the bottom of this great mystery, blow that shit up. Because we will blow up whatever we don't control, and don't tell the black people. Then you look up there in the book, there's Ra, the evil sun god. Come on, Africans, I told you in the pros and cons of Behold a Pale Horse that all those white books were dehumanizing timid.
Right.
That's right.
And that all of that was a part of setting us up for the Christian attack on the African people. And where they like Michael Jordan, and they like Michael Jackson, and they like this and that, they have to get over that and do the Christian thing. Then I'm going to show you on tape this Negro who went to that Christian Baptist convention and forgives all the hunkies. One thing in the audience. Just one thing in the audience. They call him up to the stage. The white people say, we are sorry for slavery and everything we done. Another group of white people over here say they ain't done nothing. They went to church and said we done something, but in the daytime on Monday at the government, they ain't done nothing. At church on Sunday, they done enough to ask for forgiveness. One nigga in the audience gets up there and says, I forgive all you white niggas, sit down. You can't forgive it. You ain't suffering.
That's right. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Tell it. Tell it.
Congo. Then I saw this article, 8-man experiment disclosed. Yeah, I thought they was going to take the black woman and breed her, like the Handmaid's Tale. Then we got this article out of the Chicago Tribune. New breed of subhuman slave envisioned. New breed of subhuman slave envisioned. They took the sperm of a white man and stuck it in a female chimpanzee. Chicago Tribune, May 14, 1987. Write it down, because ain't nobody going to believe what the Congo was really about. About that superhuman gorilla protecting the white man's diamond.
So does that go back to who needs the Negro?
That didn't go beyond who needs the Negro. Will there be any niggas in the year 2000?
Good question. Good question.
The white man recognized he's in trouble from another white man.
Yes, he is.
So he got rich white man fighting the poor white man. So he's setting up a system deep inside the psychological hedges of the black man, that the black man is to rescue the white man from an attack by another white man.
Go ahead and teach, brother.
Y'all seen that movie, The Enemy Within, with Forrest Whitaker, where he shows up to save the hunky government. How about the brother in Dave? He keeps the secret that the president sleeping with another woman died, and the fake president needed the help of the brother Secret Service to see him through it. How about Crimson Tide, where Denzel got to save a hunky again? Glory. Oh, Lord.
Check.
How about Die Hard 1, 2, 3, and 7? How many there are? White man can't die hard, that's brother man there to help him through it. Pelican Brief. Name me another movie where the black man got to save the white man. Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and 3. The hand that rocks the cradle, even an idiot can save the white family. Am I right? The idiot can save the white family. I ain't seen Species, so I don't know what he's doing. Captain to 57. What you say, Sister Marilyn? Oh, that Species makes the white woman turns into a black woman with dreads?
No. Yeah, and then she comes out with the white man and everything. But all around the body, you see all other symbolism for us. And then she reads a rat.
Wow. Then you look at that movie Stargate, and you got white people building the pyramid.
Yeah, ain't that something?
But the first time a mask come off of one of the brothers who got the excessively African features,
right.
they beat his ass and kick him out. And then here comes Rob, is that damn thing from the crime game. Probably just all accident, I'm just brother paranoid. I need to probably sit down and quit this.
Go ahead, brother.
You ain't gonna get nowhere messing with the white man. You'll end up poor and broke like me, full of spirit and aggression, waiting for the chance to tip the beast over because God wanted it that way. What happened to this God y'all believe in, y'all so scared of the white man?
Not me.
That's right. Come on.
Do you believe in yourself? Maybe, I don't know yet. It all depends on if I lose my house or not. There's a tape back there with me and Milana Karinga on the radio. He brags about the fact that he created everything. He said, I created Black Studies. I created Kwanzaa, celebrated by 18 million people. I created Afrocentrism. I created Goody Google Saba. He created rubber bands, the stars, the moon. And he says cultural nationalism is the only thing that black people have left. It was a part of his condemnation of the Black Panthers. And then I remember teaching you about white finance, Negro leadership versus Marcus Garvey. We had that lecture right over there at the community center. And the point to the lecture is, while the hunky was keeping everybody away from Marcus Garvey, he brought on up the Harlem Renaissance. Niggas was tap dancing and doing poetry and hanging out at the Cotton Club while they was killing off Marcus Garvey and the million followers he had. If a million men show up, remember the only other man in America ever to have a million men was Marcus Garvey. The note says, Jesse McDade wants a tape of speech, and you'll be on his show tomorrow. Oh, that's great, because I've been banned on PFW, so we done broken things. Maybe I'll be on WOL again one day. While all the D.C. suffers, Kathy Hughes is doing great.
Great.
She's the only black businesswoman in D.C. doing good. Everybody else is suffering. But if you listen to that garbage all day and all night, you see why. Boy, if I had 1 week of a show, L.A. only got 1.5 hours of talk show from 4:30 a.m. in the morning till 6 a.m. in the morning. They have no other black talk all damn day or night. Y'all got it all day, all night, and it looks worse.
Still sleep.
Still sleep.
Still sleep.
So it isn't how long you talk, it's what you say when you have a chance.
That's right. That's right.
He tried to get on the control board. He on the Federal Reserve Board, just as bad. You can't control the money in the day. What you need, Buck? Yeah.
I was just going to say, you know that she moved the station.
The station is moving.
To the white man. To the white man in a complex. And
she said,
I got it.
she said she's only going up there for the lease.
Yeah.
The lease is 4.5 years.
Right.
She said she's going to come back to 8th Street in 4.5 years.
Yeah, you believe it? Pardon me? You got a question? What you got? You got a form? Come on up here and read your form, African man. Always got time for the few. I'll hold you up.
For the love of you are mine, and mine is
Love.
my love, I love my mom and dad.
All right. We always got time for that. Who's this young man's lucky parent? Show you right. That's an honor to have a child willing to stand up in front of a room full of people. Now, I want to put something on the TV for you. I brought some stuff for you, some visual stuff. Y'all don't know Brother Cokeley that well. Y'all know Brother Cokeley, sometimes he be real mad about stuff. And I be hard on people. I've been taught on my friends because my standard amongst them is to be great. And there's a difference between being all right and excelling. It's that extra something that makes you excel. I do this lecture if I'm feeling good or I'm feeling bad. There's no sick leave in this job. There's no I can't come tonight. All y'all gonna come back some other night because they can't make no such guarantee. So in this game you go, whether you like it or you not, to serve the people is one's highest responsibility. But it took me a long time to get to this spot. Some of you all don't know much about Brother Cokeley. So I brought a couple of things I can show you. Let me see if we can hook this up. And first thing when I got started was talking about the Trilateral Commission. In Chicago, I used to get cut off the radio and disrespected. Every time I said that word, something always would happen to me. As black people in Chicago told me, that don't mean nothing. What do we care about some Trilateral Commission? Something way out over there, ain't got nothing to do with us in here. Then came the School Finance Authority in Chicago. And rich white businessmen showed up to take control of the Chicago School Board. Now, Marion Barry stood up last week and asked for the company that took over them schools in Baltimore to come down there and take them 20 schools in D.C. Think about who in the Bible turned their children over to the devil. Who in the Bible turned their children over to the devil? Because that's what it means when you turn the hunky onto your children under the guise of education. But of course, before they get educated, they got to get immunized.
That's right.
Immunized. Which must have a lot to do with higher learning. And by the way, isn't it strange that the white boy in higher learning look a lot like McVeigh? Probably was just an accident. Let's see if we got some working equipment here. There we go. Let's go backwards a little bit. I need some rehash. I need some move and shake 'em. You got to be able to go back.
Rewind.
I don't see the rewind.
It's on the unit up there somewhere there.
It's got to be probably on the handheld. Let's see, is something pull out here? There we go, rewind. So you're right. So while this is setting up, this is a piece done on CBS Evening News on the Trilateral Commission. How many of you all saw it? It was May 2nd. May 2nd, Connie John, one of her last pieces before she got sent out. Now, you know what's wrong with Connie John, don't you? Oh, it ain't ready yet, y'all, so you don't have to get up yet. When you get ready, you get a
She murdered all before the podium.
No, it's because Newt is a flunky from Murdoch, and Murdoch is owned by Rothschild. Let me hear you say that. Newt is owned by Murdoch, and Murdoch is owned by Rothschild. No, that ain't good. Newt is owned by Murdoch, and Murdoch is owned by Rothschild. Therefore, therefore, when Murdoch gives Gendrich the $4.5 million in front of everybody to show he's his hole. He said, I own this hole. It's my hole. Look the word newt up in the dictionary. And it says it's a salamander. Oh, slimy lizard. Then look up the word gin. What's gin mean?
Fire-breathing dragon.
Huh?
Fire-breathing dragon.
A fire-breathing dragon for the rich. Newt Gingrich. Because if you look up the word salamander in the dictionary of symbols, it's a Greek mythical fire-breathing character.
Go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead.
So what is Newt? Newt walks all over D.C. uninterrupted. Marion Barry invites him to his house and stuff. Newt's doing okay. Doing much better than I am in D.C. Must have been something he did to earn it. Yeah. Anyway, this piece here ran on the Trilateral Committee on CBS Evening News in response to the conflict between whites on the Oklahoma bombing. And part of it seems to deal with the fact, I remember when I first started, people told me it wasn't even such a thing. Now it could be on TV and be ventilated or argued about. Okay, it's coming up soon now. And I needed to show it to you. But what Connie Chung did that got her in trouble with the house boy, Gendrich, was, see, they got this threat going on Clinton. You know, raincoat man, shoots 45 shots in the White House, don't even get shot by the Secret Service, be on the roof. Airplane man, drive all up to the bedroom window of the Clinton house, though he high on cocaine. Then you got a hymns man. Told Clinton bring his ass to North Carolina, that Fort Bragg will fuck him up. Told him that. Excuse my language. But he didn't get down, he didn't go down for threatening the president. What if Minister Farrakhan had said that you come to Chicago, you'll be dead? He'd be in jail. But not when you're white. Not when you're boxing the president in. Not when he's caught in the line of fire.
Come on, bro.
Then you take the guy out of the movie In the Line of Fire, he becomes a senator. Take the Al Gore spot, Fred Thomas, the man from the movie, moves out the movie and becomes the senator replacing Gore. In an unprecedented move, Fred Thomas gives the official response to Clinton's State of the Union address. First time ever a freshman senator was awarded an opportunity to respond to a president other than to send a message. His ass is in the line of fire. He said, Bubba, all we want from you is the black people. Bubba, we want you to help us kill them black people. Bubba, we're going to bring up everything you've ever done. You know you didn't sleep with your woman. You know you stole that money in Arkansas. And Bubba, all you got to do is go quietly or else. Now, I told y'all about that thing which came to Agnew. Now, y'all saw Agnew got drug out of the cobwebs about a month ago. Did you see him? Agnew had been so quiet and so loyal that they took Agnew's bus and put it back in the State House in Maryland, Glendenning. I stole the election in Baltimore, Glendenning.
Check.
Last of the political machine. See. Stole the election in... Okay, go ahead, Bob. Stole the election in Baltimore. So he goes and he puts Agnew's bus back in there, put it over in the House and the Senate. Agnew was governor of Maryland, stole some money, they said, but his book is called Go Quietly, ... or else. Same shit they told Clinton. Al Haig told him that, right. But the point of it is, with Newt Gingrich